Today's lesson is Estimate Roots, Lesson 1.9. The standards that we'll cover are 8NS2 and 8EE2. The objective is to estimate roots. Essential question is, why is it helpful to write numbers in different ways? The materials you'll need will be your math journals, colored pens, and highlighters. In order to estimate roots, we need to use a number line that's filled with squared numbers and their square roots. 0 is the square root of 0. 1 is the square root of 1. 2 is the square root of 4. 3 is the square root of 9. 4 is the square root of 16. 5 is the square root of 25. 6 is the square root of 36. 7 is the square root of 49. 8 is the square root of 64. 9 is the square root of 81. And 10 is the square root of 100. So these are the same numbers. The square root of 49 and 7 are the same numbers, just represented or written differently. Let's approach this number line differently. 11 times 11 equals 121. 12 times 12 equals 144. 13 times 13 equals 169. 14 times 14 equals 196. 15 times 15 equals 225. 16 times 16 equals 256. 17 times 17 equals 289. 18 times 18 equals 324. 19 times 19 equals 361. And 20 times 20 equals 400. These number lines will be valuable resources throughout this lesson and the next. Example 1. Estimate the square root of 40 to the nearest tens place. Remember the nearest tens place, which is one digit after the decimal point. What two squared numbers is the square root of 40 between? Well, it comes before the square root of 49, which is 7, and the one before that is a square root of 36, which is 6. Halfway between that is 6.5. And the square root of 40 is somewhere about here on the number line. So we're going to make an estimate, and it's approximately, the little squigglies mean approximately 6.3 or approximately 6.4. Since the square root of 40 is closer to 36, our estimate should be closer to root 36 or 6. Example 2. Estimate the square root of 145 to the nearest tens place. So 145 falls right after the square root of 144, which is 12. And the next squared number is the square root of 169, which is 13. Halfway between 12 and 13 is 12.5. 150 is a little after 144. So a good estimate would be approximately 12.1. Example 3. Estimate the square root of 42 and 4/10 to the nearest tens place. Well, 42 and 4/10 comes after the square root of 36, which is 6, but before the square root of 49, which is 7. And halfway between them is 6.5. Well, 42 and 4/10 is kind of between 36 and 49, but it's hard to tell. So here's another strategy to get closer to your estimation. So 6 times 6 is 36, and 7 times 7 is 49. So 6.5 times 6.5 gives us something, and we're going to find out. So what we're going to do is multiply. So I'm going to use the area box model. I'm going to separate 6 and 5/10 to 60 plus 5 and 60 plus 5. So I know that 60 times 60 will give me 3,600. 60 times 5 will give me 300. 60 times 5, 300. And 5 times 5 is 25. Now I'm just going to add those up. I have 3,600, 2 300s plus the 25 gives me 625. So that's going to be $42 and 2,500. So my decimal point will go right there. So that's pretty close to 42 and 4/10. So this will be 42.25. And my estimation is about here. So it's approximately 6.6.